special guest today. And today we've got a guy who is so key to our first team, our reserve team, and in general. If he wasn't here around the place, I'm sure half the time the team would fall apart with the stuff that they need and everything like that. And as I said before, his official title is Equipment and Kit Manager and Training Steward. And I think if you tie a brush to him as well, he brushes up as well for you. But let's give a big round of applause to our lovely fella here, Sam Evans. Morning, Sam, thanks for coming along. You're being grilled by the gruesome twosome today. We promise we'll go easy on you. Do we ask him that question at the end?
I think we do.
Oh, we do. Right, well, I best start off with the boss because he's itching here.
Right, Sam, just we go back 7, 8, 9 years when we first started with the women, and obviously I've seen you grow over that time, and we worked together really well, I thought. But how's it changed now you've moved to the first team?
Well, the biggest thing is payments. At least I'm getting paid to do it now, you know what I mean? So, no,
not like Salford.
But no, it's been a bit of a journey, as you say, Gaz, because I met Gaz when I started off as a volunteer for the women when they first started. I was working elsewhere, and then it's slowly grown and built, and then just by potluck really, we had people leave, and Mike said, obviously I was doing a uni course at the time, he said, do you want to jump on? And I've not looked back since, and he's still not giving me a pay rise in 6 years or so.
No change there then?
No. But no, it's grown well, and what's good is you know the club does something well, and you've got people like Gaz who still work here, and the same group of people really that have come back year on year, and yeah, we must do something right because we enjoy it, don't we? So it's good fun, but no, it's different. It's a bit more intense, but it's been the best move moving to the first team, and hopefully I don't turn the kit pink and I still got a job next year. So yeah, that's the main thing. So yeah.
I know you're close to quite a few of the first team players, but I wanted to ask you about Morgan Knowles going to the Dolphins, and your thoughts on that, and where you see the team growing in 2025, 2026, and so on.
Yeah, I was actually quite upset when Morgs told everyone, because he's probably one of the players over the last 6 years that I've grown really close to, and it was when he said it was pretty sad. And I remember on my first day when I first joined, everyone told me that I looked like Morgan Knowles' brother, just a bit more overweight and a bit younger. But yeah, no, it's sad, but obviously that's sport, and there's been good players who have gone who I've been really close to, and Cootie and and a few others. So yeah, no, but he'll. I think one thing you try and always encourage players to do is new challenges, and it's the same for Tommy. He just wanted a new challenge, and my position's good because I get to talk to people, and it's not serious. You know what I mean? They're not gonna go and start telling Mike what they think and what that, but we just get good conversation, and they're honest with me, and I'm glad I've got that trust of people. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Morgan Knowles will go to the NRL and do really well. So yeah.
Obviously, you mentioned Tommy Makinson going to the Catalan Dragons, and obviously you was part of the group when we did 4 in a row. How have things changed and evolved since then? And obviously the player turnover has been pretty big. Like, we've lost some really top players. How do we allow this new generation to fulfil the potential?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very lucky that I joined at the perfect time. Really, I couldn't, I've done the grand finals. I've been to Wembley. I've done Australia. Like I could retire next week and say that I've done it all really. But the players that we've had for those years, obviously some are still here and they're motivated more than ever to get back to that time. Obviously, we've had a couple of years now where we've had a bit of a turnover and a bit of change, but it's not through a lack of trying. It's just maybe I think in rugby things slot into place, and it's about timing and a bit of luck as well. And I don't think we've had the luck in terms of injuries and stuff like that. But yeah, like I say, it's not my job to go and find the new players and who fits best, but my job is to say, are you large, small, XL, or medium, do you know what I mean? But and make sure they look good. But yeah, no, it's I'm excited. I think the additions of Lee Brays and Eamon O'Carroll have been exactly what the group's needed, and obviously their support for Paul has been fantastic. And like I say, everyone's motivated, everyone's doing their as hard as they can, and it's not always going to be perfect, but if we can go back to trophies and being at the top, then happy days.
How has Lee changed the attacking approach since he's come in? And obviously, you just mentioned him, and like, what different ideas does that give the group?
I mean, Lee makes me a coffee in the morning, so that's a start. He's doing it on the good foot. But no, obviously I can't really talk the ins and outs of it. Like I say, sometimes I miss a lot of stuff, and I'm not, in terms of what happens on the field, it's not my forte, but I think just the confidence he's giving players and a bit of freedom, and we've invested a lot at the training facility in little areas where we can become a little bit more social togetherness, and we can sit down, have coffees, and be in an environment that's warm and where we want to be. Do you know what I mean? And if we can keep dragging that out of people and giving the confidence to people and players, then hopefully it's we can turn a bit of a corner. Like I said, it's going to take time, so it's not all going to happen at once. It's not all of a sudden we're going to win every game by 40, 50 points, but hopefully we can just start winning games and get that.
On match day, Sam, you're typically all over the place. I've seen you when I've been helping out on match day itself. But what's a typical day in the life of Sam Evans on a match day? Because it must be absolutely frantic. I've seen you in the background loading stuff in a van for away games and what have you. But just give us an insight. What's it like on a match day for yourself?
So match day is pretty good for me. I'm the first one in, the last one to leave. Probably if it was a home game, it's 8 o'clock kickoff. So say for example this Friday, I'll be at the stadium around about 10 a.m. Just to start the process of putting everything out, setting the change rooms up. There's a lot of other things that gets done. Setting the coach's box up. And just some general jobs really for recovery and everything after. There's nutrition points. Obviously I'm not the nutritionist, as you can see, but I'm not going to tell people what to put in their bodies, but we have a pretty much a military operation routine, if you like, of how we do things, and it's better for me that way because you don't miss anything. I think that's always key. I think if I look back and times where I've missed one thing, I'm like, kill yourself, do you know what I mean? So 10 a.m. start, we put everything out, set the change rooms up, and if you get that far ahead, you can have a little bit of a relax before it sort of all kicks off really. We have staff usually arrive 3 hours before, and then players are usually, the meeting for the pre-game, is about 90 minutes before. And then once we've done that, lads obviously get into their routines, kit and everything like that. I'm just on hand then, pretty much setting the warm-up up, making sure everything pitch side is out. Like I say, hydration, everything is vital to what we do, and we take it very seriously as well. We monitor lads' hydration levels through the week, so it's important on game day that they've got the fluids in that they need to perform at their best and time everything right. So it's very detailed, and that's not just me, by the way. That's a contribution from our strength conditioners. We've got a nutritionist, our sports scientist. There's quite a lot of us on the match night. So away games is a little bit different. Sometimes we stay over, and that's purely just so we get the players relaxed or get enough sleep. And the travel is sometimes when you're cooped on a bus for 2.5 hours to Hull KR, you don't, you don't put yourself in the best position. So we sometimes stop stopovers. But for me, I don't really get that. I'm straight to the ground, usually about 4 hours before kick-off. Unload the van like the Chuckle brothers, me and Paul, and yeah, we just try and get set up, and we try and make it as comfortable and as spacious as we can. Obviously, that's not always the case. We've been to Castleford already this year, which they have facilities that are smaller than the usual and the norm, but
probably arcade.
Yeah, but we make it work. So.
Is it on painted pink?
No, it's not painted pink anymore. No, they've actually done it up.
Oh, have they?
They've actually done it up, yeah. They didn't even have padded seats. That's still to come yet.
Honestly, dogs walk round in crack helmets in that place. I've never seen a place like it, mate.
I don't know, but Castleford, they do a great cake stall. So coffee and cake once we set up. So, but yeah, no. So that's match day. It's frantic, and during the game you have injuries. I've had to, in the past, walk players off the field when times have been tough, and there's plenty of things. You just got to be on hand and ready. So
it's what you do. I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, but like I say, it's very key. I mean, I've been privileged to be helping out with things like the stadium tours, and to go in the changing rooms when Sam's in and Chappers, the padre, and these two tell the stories of what goes on and how they organise things. If you ever get the opportunity to go on these stadium tours, grab it with both hands, because it really is an insight. But during these times in the changing rooms, you've got some characters in there. My God, in your time you must have seen a few good characters. I mean, we've got Conrad Hubble at the minute, but Fireman Sam, who's left now, Ring McCarthy Scars. What's it like with these? I know when we do the tour, they tell the story of Tommy Mack and Mark Percival being like a married couple. They used to sit next to one another, and apparently it was about love thy neighbour with these two. But what's some of these characters like, Sam? Is there anything you can tell us that's not a bit fruity?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head there with Louis McCarthy Scars, but bonkers. I've never known a man turn up and just be 300 miles an hour all day, every day, in the change room before the game, and what he says before the games, he just used to just not miss. Do you know what I mean? He said it how it is, and that's that. Conrad again, he just loves playing jokes. So I've had plenty of them. I've had plenty of wedges, plenty of scares. I don't know if anyone's seen the video of him pushing Percival into a bush. It happens all the time with Connie. So, but yeah, no. During the pre-match, there are a few needy ones. A few like a bit extra, loving, if that makes sense. Yeah. Alex Walmsley being one of them. He's a bit of a Madonna. He likes the new socks every game, and he just wants you to look after him. He just wants you to do everything for him. So he's probably one of them. But like I say, Mark is missing Tommy. He's missing his husband. It's not quite the same for him at the minute now. But he's found a good one in Kyle Felt as well. He's been really good since he's come to the club and really settled in. But we have a thing on game day that we like to play as staff, which is called like game day bingo. We basically create our own card to what players are going to do. And you're allowed some certs, but you're going to have some guesses. So you know who's going to turn up first, who's going to eat this, who's going to have this, who's going to eat all the Haribo first, and you know we have a bit of fun with it. And but it's good to take in what people do before a game again, because if it's not the same as normal, you know what I mean, it can affect them. It can really affect them.
They're all a bit weird, aren't they, when it comes to like getting the self in the right frame of mind to perform. Like my brother's strange. He eats the same meal every time. Before he plays, he'll eat the same meal, and that's happened since he was 14.
100%, yeah. Tristan Saylor always has a coffee. Always has. I got to have an espresso before the game. Don't know where he gets it from. Never brings me one though, so I don't like him at the minute. But no, and I think he just eats a pack of Haribo before every game, to be fair to him. But no, players have a strict routine, and yeah, it's that bad now. We even have on the locker what the nutritionist has set up for them. So it might be some have a banana, some have a can of Red Bull, some have. It's scary. I mean, what happened? Just turn up and play. You know what I mean? And it just doesn't happen anymore like that. So everyone is very conscious and knowing of their body, of what they put in before they go out to play. You know, we have a lot of caffeine shots. We have a lot of energy gels, dry bananas, nuts. It's a spread. It's a spread. It's not a nutrition table. We have butties too, butties and cakes and tea before too. But it's mad.
I think as well as that, you pander to some of the whims and some of the little traits they've got, and you, like you say, you put your arm around them. And certainly, I think after the game, where they come in and they'll be bouncing off the walls if they won, and maybe if it was like Friday night against Hull, I bet the room would be sombre. But I know you guys absolutely do your level best to pick them up and rebuild them and get them going again. But it's a thankless task, but when it's done well, it's an amazing task. But you've been very privileged during your time, I think, Sam. You've worked with some great coaches, and I think working with Christian Wolf, you've had two opportunities. You've worked with him here, and you got an opportunity to work with him with Tonga as well, didn't you? What was that like? Because to me, he seems a very laid-back guy, but a very meticulous guy. What was that like?
I think what makes Wolfie a good coach is the fact that when you look at him, he looks like he's about to punch you. You know what I mean? He's got that face where he scares you, so you just do what he says. You know what I mean? But one thing I will say about Christian is he is very good at sort of knowing all his players and staff in terms of not just, you know, what they're like as people, but what their families are like. He took the time to, you know my parents' names and, you know, who my brothers are, and I think that's what makes a better coaches the best, because they understand, you know, they take the time to actually get to know people. And then when he said, obviously, do you want to work for Tonga during the World Cup, it was a no-brainer for me. It was a great opportunity, and it was on a different level in terms of, you know, what they brought with them. And obviously there's, you know, we all know that the money in the NRL on that side of the world is different. But I was surprised at how much they actually brought in terms of kit, in terms of, you know, how they wanted their tournament to go. I don't think it went to the, you know, as well as it liked, but again, it was just a great experience. And what I liked about it was the amount of staff there was. You could just focus on your bits. You didn't have to worry about anything else. And I think when you can do that, you do it to your best of your ability. And that's not to say that doesn't happen here. I just think the investment that side of the world has, it's just on it's different gravy, in it. Do you know what I mean? It's different level. So, but yeah, no, I was fortunate to work with Christian, and like I say, I'm still in contact with him now. And I was just saying when there's kit man job at the Dolphins going for $500,000, just let me know on the first flight. So I'll keep in contact, and like I say, I think that was what was a good trait that no one really says about him, is that he was very personal with people.
I think that was he's a similar, not as laid back as Justin Holbrook was, but he's a similar guy. He's more about the collective and what we can do for the community, and just being a team from top to bottom. It didn't matter whether you were a cleaner or a coach. They know your name and they know who you are and they know what you do, and that goes a long way.
Yeah, I mean, I always remember that when we won Old Trafford in 21, I remember Alex Walmsley saying on his interview straight after the game that, you know, it's a club effort. It's everyone from, you know, Glenda the cleaner to Sam the kit man to, you know, whoever it is in the club. It was we all contribute something, and I think I wouldn't say we've gone away from that. I don't think we've gone away from that. But one thing that Paul this year especially is we want to re-engage with it a little bit more. You know, and even like today when, you know, I was asked would I do it, like 100%, do you know what I mean? And listen, I don't carry the ball out there, I don't do anything, but if we can, you know, contribute what our stories and our experiences to people in the community, then definitely we've actually just Monday done our team meeting from the Dream. So we got to come away from our normal environment. You know, we went out and, you know, it's something different. We're taking obviously the Challenge Cup very seriously, and like you should do every year. But I think there's a bit more emphasis on it this year, and you know, and hopefully we can, you know, keep contributing back to the community. And like you say, I think no different from what Paul is now. Christian did the exact same thing. He made sure that, you know, we get players and out in the community engaging with people from the town, and because ultimately, like that's what it's about. Do you know what I mean? We need to get back 100%, and yeah. So hopefully we can keep winning and create more experiences and keep, you know, contributing to the community as well.
Well, that fight's over.
No.
Is it time to ask the question?
I think so.
I think it's time to ask that question. To every guest, Sam, that comes along we interview, and it's always a challenging one for him. So it's this: if you could have lunch or a dinner with any three people, dead or alive, who would it be?
And what about and you can't say me.
Go on.
We've already had dinner anyway, so many times. That's awful. That's awful. I could go on some controversy from this.
Go on.
So number one would be the late Queen.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just let's just find out what that's about. That's our life. The next one would be Rick Mayall, one of my favourite comedians. Obviously, again, not with us, but I just loved that comedy growing up. So that would be the next one. And finally, probably anyone but Louis McCarthy's guys.
I do have one more question for you, and I know I'm keeping you more than 20 minutes, but if you could pick any player from the Super League or the NRL to join Saints, who would it be and why? You're the chance to be the fantasy pick.
As long as this doesn't go on Red Beaver on Twitter after this, then that's fine.
You have to all sign an NDA about this one.
This is it's not a rumour. This is just my hopes out. I would imagine in the next couple of years that we need another half-back.
I know where it's going.
I mean, Kiri would be unbelievable, wouldn't it? That would be my main choice. But two players that I also like would be Reece Walsh from Brisbane, and there is a lad who I work with at Tonga called Isaiah Katoa, and I reckon in the next couple of years he'll be one of the best half-backs in the NRL. So he plays at the Dolphins now, but that would be, I think, half-backs make you, they're your sat-navs, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're what make your team go round, so yeah, that would be my...
Wow.
Those three, Kiri, Walsh or Katoa.
I
know we said one, but...
yeah, but I think we'd break the salary cap, wouldn't we? Well, there's a few teams in the league that already do that, don't
I think we'll be coming round with the bucket afterwards from the collection.
I mean, they can just put it under my name and that's we're paying through me. That's fine. Sponsorship, sponsor.
Go on.
Yeah.
Right. Anybody got a quick question to ask Sam before we let him go? Go on.
I apologise in advance for swearing, by the way, but Matty Peake was interviewed at the end of last season about Wigan, and he said, how come that you're now doing so well? And you just said something then about the change in Saints, because he said, when we play for each other, and after the match, we socialise together. And you just mentioned then that after the training they have coffee and whatever. Have you noticed that kind of switch in terms of the gelling out of the game?
Yes and no. And what I mean by that is, I'll explain, is the years, I mean, in a sense you're right, but in the last 4 years when we were very successful, I think Sam Tonkin said on one of his interviews that the reason that no one beats Saints is because they play for each other. And I don't think that comes off the back of socialising as such. I think what I mean is you've got to have a love for each other and a sense of togetherness. And I think we were just a team that I don't think we played the best rugby in the world, but what we did was we didn't concede any because people were just willing to work hard for each other. Over the last couple of years, that hasn't changed. I just think that we've maybe, when it's not gone our way, is search for new game plans and stuff that's, we're looking over there when everything's just here. Just go back to what we're good at. And I think that's probably where he's right in the sense that you have to have that togetherness, and the more social stuff we can do, because at the end of the day we spend however many weeks of the year together. Like I can't remember the last time I seen my missus. I haven't seen her. I don't know what she looks like now, but we spend that much time together that it is important to have that togetherness, and where you can do things that's not rugby related as well, where you can go for a meal. That's not always going for a beer or a coffee, but just doing something a little bit different. We've done golf stuff in the past, and schooled a few at that. So yeah, no, he's right in what he says, and I just think that we are trying to find those little wins, if that makes sense, and making sure the environment is right for this group, because not every group's the same either. So yes and no is that's all.
I think it changes with the experience you've got. If you lose your experience and them older heads in the dressing room, I think that's where it can fall down. But when you're losing people like Tommy Makinson and Sione and people like that, like they're very, very difficult players to replace. Like, you don't just find one of them outside the road and say, go on, I'll give you a shirt, come play the red V. It doesn't happen, because they do the job of like two players.
Yeah, I think as well, and one thing we do get right is, and this is from my experience, when I'm in the laundry room or the kit room or the boot room, whatever you want to call it, is when there's the people, everyone's welcome, and when they come in there, we don't sign any bad people. Everyone is a gentleman, and everyone's got their own issues, and everyone's got the way they approach games, but we don't sign anyone who, you know, is a bad person to the group. And it's, I think over the 6 years I've been there, there's probably not even a handful of times when you could say like, oh, that might be a bit of an issue. But do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's quickly nipped in the bud, and you know, it's very rare that happens. And so that's what I would say, is that although we do lose, you know, the likes of Tommy, who's experienced, is we then bring in people who are good people and want to get to know what you're about, what your culture is, what, you know. I look at the lads who have come in this year, like Felty and Tristan. They've got on board with what the club is, you know, and that's why things like we did on Monday are important, because, you know, yes, you're coming to a club that's had success, but it's the community and what we do around it that makes it what it is. So yeah, it kind of balances itself out, if that makes sense. It's a big loss, but then you quickly realise that there is replacements and there are other people and, you know, maybe better players out there.
I'd just like to finally thank you for coming this morning, because obviously you put your hand up for this and you thought, well, it's going to be Gaz, he's going to grill me, he's going to throw me a short ball, but I appreciate you coming out to see us, and good luck in the rest of the season, and keep plodding, keep going. Yeah. Thank you.
Cheers, thank you everyone. That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me. 7 years is tough. That's the nicest thing you've said.
I think he owes you coffee now, doesn't he? Okay, folks, let's have a big round of applause for Sam. Thanks, Sam.